Greetings everyone. I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the calls. I don't take it for granted. I want to share with us about how to manage a crisis. How can we as individuals manage crises that come our way? How do you manage a crisis when it comes your way as a person? We're in a generation where people face all sorts of problems. Some people do not have jobs. Some people have lost their jobs after COVID. Some people have lost loved ones. Some people do not know what to do. As a matter of fact, some of the people who are watching me do not know what to do because they are stuck with a number of issues or problems. And the need arises, how can I go through the crisis that I am in? So I'm going to share with us a number of ways on how you can manage a crisis. I'm talking about a crisis where you lost a job. A crisis where the money you're getting is not enough for you. A crisis where the prices of commodities are increasing and your incomes are still very low. That is the kind of crisis I'm talking about. We are in a period where each and everything is increasing. The prices of fuel have shot up. The rentals have shot up. People are losing their jobs. The schools are demanding for a lot of fees. The food prices have increased. When you are faced with a surge, what do you do? Now, this video is going to take you through practical ways in which you can be able to manage such a crisis. Because even me, I've gone through it. Who knows, I may also be going through a crisis. But what I'm going to share with you today has helped me in a way. It has helped me in a way. And that is why I think it will also benefit every person who is watching me today. And I'm calling upon you to share this video with your friends, to subscribe, to ring that bell so that every time I happen to send a video, to upload a video, you can be able to get it. How do you manage a crisis? A crisis whereby your expenditures are more than your incomes. We are in a state of affairs where the ratio of a Ugandan is income plus liabilities equals to expenditure. That is the expenditure of an average Ugandan. A Ugandan spends more than what he or she earns. Even in other nations, I have viewers who have called me from Brazil. Some have called me from Tanzania. Others have called me from China. and they are going through some problems. They are going through hardships. They have failed to manage the crisis that they are going through. But I'm persuaded to believe that this video is going to answer some of the questions which you've longed for. It is an opportunity for you to manage that crisis that you're going through, because you do not have any solutions, and as a matter of fact, you don't know what to do. So what do you do when you're faced with such a crisis whereby your expenditure levels are more than your incomes, and the only way you can meet your expenditures is by borrowing money? Literally meaning that you are in a vicious circle of poverty, where you have low incomes, lots of liabilities, and high expenditures. Now, with that kind of circle, you can never develop. With that kind of circle, you can never develop. You can only develop if your incomes are more than your expenditures, which literally means that you have enough to spend, enough to save, and enough to develop you, enough for enterprise. That is how life is supposed to be. But there are people who have spent years without a thing to show out of the hard work they do. Probably it's because you've failed to manage your way of living. It could be the reason. So some of the reasons, or some of the points that I'm going to talk about, will help you in managing this crisis. This crisis was brought out. This crisis could have been brought up by COVID-19. We are in the effects of COVID-19, whereby people lost jobs, whereby the inflation is high, whereby people have little or no income at all. So how do you manage that kind of crisis? Number one in management of crisis is that you need to live within your means. Learn to live within your means. Don't mind about what your friends will say. Don't mind about what your family will say. It is important for you to live within your means. If before COVID you are renting a house of over $1,000, and it so happens that your income cannot be able to pay for that house, get another house of $500 and below. Learn to live within your means. It helps. It will help in reducing on your debts, on your liabilities. Be satisfied with what you have. And I'm not talking about you being contented. But often a time when you are faced with a crisis, learn to withdraw so that you can be able to gather yourself up and be able to ready yourself for battle. That's what I'm talking about. Learning to live within your means. Learn to live within your means. It's very important if you are to manage a crisis. Number two, if you are going to manage the crisis you're going through. Do any job as long as it is not illegal. Some of you are unemployed, and the reason as to why you are unemployed is because there is a specific job which you believe you should be doing. And you are waiting on that job, yet there are other jobs that can be able to sustain you. There is no money that is bad. Every job can be able to get you income. What is important is the income. What good is it for you to speak good English when you are not earning? Some of you have spent 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years without employment, and you are not bothered. You are waiting for that white-collar job. The question is, when is it going to come? Meanwhile, other people who are doing some other odd jobs are earning income, and they are surviving. But you who is waiting for a white-collar job, you are just asking around for money. And the main reason as to why you fail to get a job is because you are proud. It's because you've put yourself up there. And you've put a litmus test that there are some jobs that you cannot do. But the only way you can be able to manage that crisis you're going through is for you to do any job as long as it is not illegal. What is important is for you to execute any kind of job as long as it is legal. Even if some people tell you that you'll be ashamed in the profession because you are an advocate of the high court, because you are a doctor, because you are an engineer. But if that job has failed to get you a job, try other ways of getting income. And in such a way, you'll be able to manage that crisis. Number 3, in managing a crisis, choose your friends well. Choose your friends well. The friends you have, in most cases, determine your character. They determine your way of life. They determine everything that happens around you. So the friends you have when you are going through a crisis determine a lot. They can either lift you up or they can bury you. There are different types of friends you need when you are going through a crisis. You need friends who can identify themselves with you, friends who can hold you, friends who can encourage you, friends who can speak words of faith into your life. Those are some of the friends I'm talking about. You also need friends that can lift you up, friends who can provide solutions to your unanswered questions. You need such friends, but you don't need friends who are going to put you down, friends who are going to tell you that you cannot manage, that you are like us, we are all unemployed, we are going to suffer, we are going to die. You don't need such kinds of friends. So friends matter a lot. You don't need all the friends you have. You don't need them. You are not created to be a friend to each and everyone. Sometimes you need to make a few deletions from your phone. Like you who is watching me, there are names you have in your phone, you don't even remember the owners, but you are keeping them there anyway. Why? Do you really need them? Someone calls you, you have the name, and you even ask them who they are. Do you need them? Some friends are just surplus. Some friends are just dead weight. You don't need them in your life. You need friends of value. Because birds of the same feathers flock together. This is very important. We identify you through the friends you have. I get to know about you through the friends you have. In fact, when I want to know about you, I just ask for your friends. And this is very important. Because you cannot tell me that you have character, yet you are friendly to thieves. Yet you are friendly to fraudsters. Yet you are friendly to the corrupt. There is something that pulls you to them. And that is what we call the law of attraction. There is something in you that attracts you to those friends, and which attracts you to them, which literally means that you are like them. You are birds of the same feather. So, your friends determine a lot when you are going to manage a crisis. Number 4, the God you believe in. When you are managing a crisis, you need to be close to God. You need to be close to God. The God you believe in determines a lot when you are going through a crisis. Sometimes we need that supernatural being so that we can open up to Him and He can provide answers to the questions we have. There are people who are watching me who don't believe in God. Why don't you believe in God? This world has a beginning and an end. Don't think that this world just happened. There is a creator, and you owe that creator a duty of care. It doesn't matter what your faith is. You may be Muslim, you may be Catholic, you may be Anglican, you may be Pentecostal, but it is important for you to believe in that supernatural being, because He's the one who created you, and He has a purpose for your life. He has a purpose for your life. That is why you need to draw close to Him in times of crisis. Cry unto Him. Read that Bible. Read that Quran. It helps, my brother. It helps, my sister. Somehow, somewhere, you'll be able to get a formula of how you can get out of that crisis. So what you believe in and the God you serve can help you in times of crisis management. Number 5, in times of crisis management, you need to come up with a strategy of managing that crisis. For example, probably you do not have a job. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you lost loved ones. How do you intend to go about it? Think through it. Ponder on it. So that you come up with strategies on how to deal with those situations. It is important, my sister. It is important, my brother. With those 5 ways, I believe you can be able to manage a crisis. Of course, there are so many others I would have loved to share with you about. But too much of something may sometimes be bad. But I believe with those 5 ways, any person who is watching me can be able to manage a crisis. It is important for you to have a strategy of how you can manage that crisis. Very important. Drawing close to God. Very important. Living within your means. Very important. The friends you have. Very important. Very important. And also having something you're doing. I know you're blessed. And don't hesitate to share. May the good Lord bless you all.